Black coffee, I'm in trouble. Black coffee, I see trouble. Man, I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm so dizzy. Black coffee, please get busy. Now make you get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble. I'm so dizzy. Please get busy. Man, I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble. I'm so dizzy.
Hello and welcome inside Leominster TV Studio A. This is 20 games for 20 years. I'm Todd Robbins. The 2018 season represents the 20th year of Leominster High School athletics being broadcast consistently to a television audience, initially through Cablevision Channel 36, which was transmitted from the Media Center at Leominster High, beginning with the football season in 1999. Channel 36 would eventually join Channel 29 and a host of other numerals in what has since 2001 been known as Leominster Access Television, or today's Leominster TV. Much like I myself have aged since first taking the play-by-play mic as a 14-year-old freshman in 1999, so too has the personnel, technology, and even the branding of our broadcast coverage. From LHS TV 36 to BDSN, the Blue Devil Sports Network, or Blue Devil Sports Night, to LATV's Action Sports, to LHS Football on Leominster TV. No matter what we've called it, our mission has been the same. Serve our community by bringing top quality coverage of Leominster High School athletics into viewers' homes, especially those populations that so desperately want to take part and for one reason or another cannot make it to the game. Perhaps it's to celebrate with the players, parents, coaches, fans, and boosters of the blue and white, so they can relive it all throughout their careers and now for so many in the years that have followed, as their kids, grandkids, and great-grandchildren become part of the tapestry that is this community's historic athletic tradition. They can use this coverage to weave their and our shared history together. Over the next 20 episodes, we will celebrate our 20 seasons of television coverage by breathing new life into the games that live in our archives, beginning as it did 20 years ago with LHS football. As through the magic of digital technology, we bring you 20 games for 20 years. It is in that spirit that we bring you this playoff game from Doyle Field in the year 2014, labeled by our partnership with WPKZ Radio AM 1280 and 105.3 FM, shot direct to digital and preserved in our archive. Remastered by our archivist Jack Selly, we bring you this game with the original play-by-play call of our current broadcast team of Bill Thomas, Kate Meyer-Robbins, and myself. 20 games for 20 years presents this classic playoff matchup from 2014. The 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg, a playoff matchup of the rivalry between the Blue Devils and Red Raiders of Fitchburg High School.
squabbles between Fitchburg and Leominster. Participating student athletes purchase and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating ensuring the behaviors reflect the organization that comply with this athletes. Assume responsibility for your behavior and the behavior of those around you. The process takes ladies and gentlemen, our great nation has persevered through leadership sacrifices of men and women who have served or are serving in our forces. We now invite our veterans and current military personnel to please stand. And we thank you for your service to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you all to please rise, face toward the west, remove your hats and helmets as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight, performed by the Leominster High School Marching Band under the direction of Band Director Barry Hudson, Drum Major Samantha Zick, and Assistant Drum Major Benjamin Swift.
As we welcome you back to historic Doyle Field, the Leominster High School Marching Band welcomes us back to Doyle Field with tonight's national anthem. Todd Robbins alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer. So happy to have you along with us tonight from Doyle Field. We are live on WPKZ AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. Streaming live the world over on WPKZ.net. We also welcome our viewers joining us on Leominster Access Television tonight, also live across the Twin Cities tonight via LATV, Comcast Channel 8, and Verizon Channel 34. So happy to have you along with us tonight. Great coverage coming your way on a big night tonight. The 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg from historic Doyle Field. And yeah, if you're looking at your calendar and just joining us, you're going, wait a minute, this is 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. You're absolutely right. Tonight, it's for all the marbles. It's the Division II Central Mass Sectional Championship. The winner moves on to the state playoffs and the state semifinals next weekend.
I just wish we could have 2 Thanksgiving dinners.
And there will be a game on Thanksgiving also, no matter what happens tonight. And I expect it to be every bit as intense as this game we're going to see tonight.
I don't think there's any question about that. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer as we are set for kickoff tonight. The captains have met at midfield. They have gone back to their respective huddles as they are getting riled up. You can see the pageantry beginning, but in mere moments here, the pageantry is over, the ball gets kicked off, and the best team will win. The Blue Devils come into this matchup winners of 5 straight in this rivalry, including twice in 1 year on their way to a Super Bowl championship just 3 years ago. So without question, this is a doable feat for the Blue Devils tonight, but it is just as doable a feat for the Red Raiders, because that 1 versus 7 seed, that's out the door at kickoff, as is the Blue Devils' 7-2 regular season record, the Red Raiders' 5-4 regular season record, and the all-time series record, which the Blue Devils lead by a tune of 63, 58, and 10 ties, and that tells you all you need to know about the history of this rivalry. Is it stopped tied 10 times?
Well, and
No ties tonight.
There'll be no
and
ties.
there's only one record that matters, 0-0. Both teams come in even Stevens.
And that is correct. The Blue Devils have elected to receive the opening half kickoff. The Red
LeBron
Raiders,
powder coming out.
yeah,
from
with the
Red Raiders.
LeBron talc powder up in the air, and Bill
They're
Thomas still
ready.
ready for kickoff.
And this kickoff brought to you by Troy Hebert Construction. For a quarter century, a name you can trust for new construction, renovations, and repairs. Call 508-328-7484 or visit Troy Hebert on the web at troyhebertconstruction.com. Now, with the call of the game, the voice of the Blue Devils, the award-winning Todd Robbins.
All right, Bill Thomas, thank you so very much as we are set for kickoff. Facundo Isas with the ball on the tee, 40-yard line to our right. A line drive kick going from right to left across the field will be returned by the Blue Devils from their own 22-yard line. They'll advance it up to the 25, knocked down and out of bounds. James Gurley on the return for the Blue Devils, and Leominster's got the football. First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line as they go left to right on WPKZ tonight. And our friends at Leominster Access Television joining us on the home side
We're in
tonight.
sync,
They go
baby.
left to right with
So
us
we're
as
going
well.
in the same direction they
We're
are
all
tonight.
going in the
I
same
love it.
direction. That's what we
What
want.
took him so long to get over here?
Everybody's on board.
I think James Gurley a little quick to pick that ball up there, Todd, on that kickoff. Might have had an out-of-bounds play. Could have got a little better field position, but here we go from the 25.
And sophomore quarterback Noah Gray in the gun. 4 receivers evenly across the formation. Eddie Rivera in the backfield on 1st and 10. Quick screen, swung out, and incomplete. Eddie Rivera was already starting to move before he caught the football. And that pass will fall incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Hit him in the wrong spot. In the hands.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked like Eddie turned. You know, he knew he probably had a one-on-one move out there, looking to make that move, but you got to secure the ball before you can gain
And
any yards.
sometimes these are the exact type of first offensive possession jitters that you expect to see occasionally. I don't expect that will last very long. That's very atypical for Eddie Rivera and the Blue Devils offense, especially their receiving core. So look for that to get cleaned up pretty quickly.
2nd down and 10 to go. Ball at the Blue Devil 25 going left to right. 3 receivers in the formation. It's a shotgun spread. 2 on the short side left in the snap. Gray back to pass. Got some time looking over the middle. Pass is deflected and incomplete. And DeAndre Addo was the intended receiver, and he had some physical contact with Nick Miles, who was covering him. He was fronting him down the field, and Addo wanted pass interference, and he's not going to get it.
And good coverage there by the Red Raiders secondary, and Noah kind of forced that into triple coverage. Luckily, that wasn't an interception. Didn't turn into an interception, much like we saw happen last week.
Center of this Red Raider defense, particularly in that defensive secondary. 4 starting defensive backs, all seniors. Darius Flowers, Manny Payton, Nick Miles, who we just mentioned, and they're joined by their 4th man, Paul Duenas. They are a serious bone to contend with of this Red Raider defense.
3rd and long coming up for the Blue Devils.
3rd and 10 in particular. They need a first down to their own 35-yard line. On 3rd down and 10 from their own 25. Gray's back to pass out of a gun. Got some time. Steps up. Floating down the center of the field. And it is deep and it is incomplete. DeAndre Addo went to the inside. The pass from Noah Gray to the outside as Nick Miles was the closest man to the football. And it's 3 and out for the Blue Devils on their first offensive possession. A 4th down and 10 from their own 25.
Not only 3 and out, but a quick 3 and out. 20 seconds off the clock. 3 pass plays, 3 incompletions, and quickly the Red Raiders are going to be into their offense, and not what the Blue Devils were looking for in their opening possession, I dare say.
Anthony Dandini stands in punt formation around his own 13-yard line. Darius Flowers to return. Good snap, good punt away from Anthony Dandini. Flowers will watch the ball hop at the Red Raider 40-yard line. He will field it and be taken down on the play. Nice closing speed there. 32 Connor Moran closes and makes the tackle on Darius Flowers. But the Red Raiders have the football. First down and 10 at their own 36-yard line going right to left.
Good job by Connor playing gunner down there, getting down there fast, and spying Darius Flowers all the way. Good one-on-one tackle.
Update around the playoffs. Instead of searching around the region for furniture and mattresses, buy from a local family-owned retailer, Garapi Furniture. Garapi Furniture and Mattress Center in downtown Leominster. Online at WeDoFurniture.com. We'll have that look around the playoffs coming up in a moment, but first and 10 out of an eye for the Red Raiders, and Flowers the snap and the give for Alex Marrero, and Marrero takes it straight over the middle across the 36 and up to the 37-yard line, and the first offensive yard is gained by the Red Raiders. It's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
You know, we're not expecting the Red Raiders to do anything fancy. They got some big bodies up front. They've been opening up holes for Marrero and Flowers when he decides to keep it himself and run that read option. So we'll have to see if they continue just to attack the middle and try to win the battle up front.
Our update around the region from Garapi Furniture. Division II West tonight. The winner of this matchup gets the 3-versus-1 winner of East Longmeadow and Longmeadow. 2nd down and 9, and the snap and the give to the inside, and that's Manny Payton on the carry. And no, check that, Marcos Diaz, the fullback, crosses the 45 midfield and dragged down at the Blue Devil 48. It's a first down on a gain of 14 for Marcos Diaz. Wrapping that look around the playoffs, brought to you by Garapi Furniture. The North-South matchup in the East, 4-versus-2. Haverhill's at North Andover tonight. 2, Marshfield is at King Philip in the South. Those are your Elite 8, along with the Blue Devils and Red Raiders here at Doyle Field. We'll have updates around the playoffs. This update around the playoffs was brought to you by Garapi Furniture. First down and 10 for the Red Raiders into Blue Devil territory at their 48 out of an eye. The snap, and Flowers will give it to Alex Marrero. Swallowed up by that Blue Devil front. Good closing speed in the front. Derek Hood, Hector Aponte, Kevin Baran all in the neighborhood, closing down the holes at the line of scrimmage. It is a gain of 1. 2nd down and 8 coming up here for the Red Raiders.
Looks like Daniel Lopez. Is that who I'm seeing out there, or is it 50? Trying to see if there's a new number, 56 or 58 out there, but good job by the linebacking core. I think that was Nate Lambert, 58 there, leading the way.
2nd down, a long 8 from the Blue Devil 47. It's an I formation. Marcos Diaz is the down fullback. Alex Marrero dots the I. Pair of receivers to the left, and Flowers the snap. Quick swing out, complete into the hands of Nick Miles, who turns the corner away from the defense, crosses the 40 to the 35, and dragged down at the Blue Devil 34-yard line. Quick pitch and catch and a strike. Darius Flowers to Nick Miles, and a gain of 14 and another Red Raider first down.
You know, we talked about Flowers doesn't throw the ball a lot, but when he does, he's effective. I think 3 attempts, 2 completions, 1 for a TD last week, and they've shown that they're not afraid to throw the ball, even though the running game is working.
Left hash this time. First down and 10 for the Red Raiders at the Blue Devil 34-yard line. Out of an I formation, Flowers the snap and the give for Marrero. Finds a huge hole on the right side of the line. Up to the 31-yard line, maybe give him the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Huge hole closed up quickly by Connor Skinner there, leading away from his outside linebacker core. But Alex Marrero hitting the hole very quickly, getting into that secondary, and it's going to be a long night for the linebackers and the safeties and defensive backs if the defensive linemen continue to get tied up by the oversized, and I think they're outmatched a bit from across the front 5 by the Fitchburg Red Raiders.
2nd down, 6 to go. It's that I formation. Diaz with Marrero dotting the snap. They do get it into the back pocket of Diaz. He finds a little hole on the left side, crosses the 30-yard line, and moves the ball up to the Blue Devil 25. Right in the neighborhood of the first down. He is right on half a ball on the 25-yard line. Looks like that'll be enough, but no, they're marking him a half a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and a half a yard to go. They need to move the ball to the Blue Devil 24.5-yard line for a first down.
Good job by Flowers there, riding Diaz's back pocket there, and kind of holding the ball just in there, but not really sure what to do, but saw a little opening, and Diaz took off with it. Nice positive 6-yard gain.
I formation, Diaz, Marrero dotting. 2 receivers on the short side. Nick Marrero is the slot receiver on the left. Flowers, the snap, the give for Diaz, the fullback. He's got that half a yard and more. It's a Red Raider first down, moving the ball up to the Blue Devil 23-yard line.
That's their 3rd first down of this drive already. Leominster with the 3 and out on their first offensive possession.
Check of the time and temperature brought to you by Leominster Ice and Oil, serving our community since 1902. Leominster Ice and Oil, your hometown source for heating oil, wood pellets, and other fuels, plus ice cubes, block ice, dry ice, and more. They offer great service too. Visit Leominster Ice and Oil at 5 Chestnut Street in Leominster. 7:09 and 33 degrees on a Friday night, November the 14th. Happy to have you along with us tonight on WPKZ. The handoff straight up the middle for the tailback, Marrero, on first down and 10. Met at the line after a gain of about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Once again, Connor Skinner leading the charge there with help from Hector Aponte. And linebackers are going to be very active tonight because Fitchburg has a big offensive line. They're going to be doing their job, and it's up to the linebackers to fight off those secondary blocks and watch for the running back coming through the hole.
Ninth play of the drive coming up for the Red Raiders with that 1-yard rush. Marrero, 4 carries, 9 yards on the night so far.
Just underway from historic Doyle Field. 5:50 and counting left here in quarter number 1. No score, the Red Raiders and the Blue Devils, the 132nd edition. The snap, Flowers tripped out of the blocks, rolls out to his right, pass is thrown, juggled, it is caught in the hands of Marcos Diaz, now ruled incomplete. As they say, Diaz did not hang on to it. Diaz, it looked like, had juggled it and brought it in before he got to the ground, but they say it fell incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Probably worked out to the Red Raiders' advantage that did fall incomplete. That was going to be a losing yardage play, probably a yard or more. That play was going nowhere. Luckily, that ball didn't get popped up and intercepted, but falls harmlessly to the ground. Brings up big 3rd down play here, and I'm going to go out on a limb, Todd. Say we're in 4th down territory for the Red Raiders.
There's any question about that. 3rd and 10 for the Red Raiders from the Blue Devil 23. They need to move the ball to the Blue Devil 13 for the 1st down. Out of an eye on 3rd down. Flowers double move, looking to the outside as Nick Miles and Keith Jackson make that. Kyle Jackson were jockeying down the right sideline. The pass will fall incomplete. Nick Miles was trying to make it look like he was hung up on that play with Kyle Jackson, but the pass will fall incomplete and bring up a 4th down and 10.
Good job by Kyle Jackson. Getting in the way there, but not using his arms to control Miles and actually pulling his arms in to show the officials he wasn't grabbing him. Great play out there by Jackson.
Better job by Jackson. Once that's over, we walk away.
And that's how you need to do it. Discretion, the greater part of valor tonight. 4th down and 10 from the Blue Devil 23. The Red Raiders going from right to left here in quarter number 1. Clock stopped on the incompletion. 5:32 left here in quarter 1.
This will be Fitchburg's first 4th down attempt on the evening.
And Red Raider coach Dan Walker, says let's take a timeout. We'll keep it right here at historic Doyle Field as we are just underway. Just a 30-second timeout as Darius Flowers goes over to the sideline. 5:32 left here in the 1st quarter. No score, the Blue Devils and the Red Raiders here on WPKZ tonight, AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. Streaming live the world over on WPKZ.net. And tonight's broadcast of Leominster High School football on WPKZ. Televised in simulcast via our partners at Leominster Access Television. Check your Comcast or Verizon channel guide for LATV. For replay schedules and the weekly Coach's Corner, visit Leominster.tv for more information.
I have to comment, nice crowd on the opposite side of the field. A lot of red over there. Great turnout by both groups of supporting fans here. Both teams.
Packed house at Doyle Field on 4th down. The shotgun snap. Flowers is hit, and Flowers is sacked. The Blue Devil front caves at the line of scrimmage and closes in and sacks Flowers. Hector Aponte and Derek Hood in on the sack.
And Anthony Dandini too. We haven't called his number tonight except for that punt, but he's got a nose for the ball, especially in those situations. Big play Anthony, I think we could call him, and he came through right there.
Turnover on downs, the ball to the Blue Devils. They'll take over the offensive football. 1st down and 10 at their own 27-yard line going left to right.
We'll have to see if they change up the offensive philosophy here. Looks like there's some different personnel on the field already to start this series.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to go no huddle off the sideline, and something got messed up with the football getting sent out there. Now they're trying to find the football. Here it comes in. The wing officials trying to get the right ball in on the sideline. So the Blue Devils will go into a huddle on this change of possession. 5:28 left here in the 1st quarter. No score, Leominster and Fitchburg from Doyle Field tonight. It's 1st down and 10 Blue Devils, their own 27-yard line at right hash. Wildcat offense on the field for the Blue Devils. Eddie Rivera at the Wildcat quarterback spot. James Gurley, the running back, with him. Noah Gray flanked out as a wide receiver in the trips all the way to the far left side of the formation. Rivera on 1st down and 10 asks for the football. He'll bit the option handoff into the hands of James Gurley, who turns the corner. He's got some room. He stumbles, but he's still up on his feet. Crosses the midfield stripe and dragged down at the Raider 44-yard line. Marker is down as if a football came loose. I believe Gurley got back on top of it. He did. It's a big Blue Devil 1st down on a big gain by James Gurley. A gain of 29 and a Leominster 1st down.
Looked like Gurley was going to break that all the way. Had one man to beat, put a little move on him, but stumbled just enough to allow the Red Raider defense pursuit to catch up to him. fortunate to get back on that ball after a apparent fumble.
The Wildcat offense continues, and now a timeout taken. Referee's blowing a whistle. The wing official coming over to the near side, talking to Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi, and
they're keeping them back. That's the problem.
White hat Bob Bonsi has issued the first sideline warning to the Blue Devils tonight, so a sideline warning issued, Kate.
Now, I will say this is one of the difficulties for the officials. This is about classroom management, if you will. They have to keep things under control, so taking care of it right off the bat.
And the Blue Devils step all the way back off the white, which is where they belong. First down and 10. Rivera fakes the handoff to Gurley. He keeps it himself, finding some room. Gurley gets out in front of him as a lead block, crossing the 35. Rivera reverses fields again, across the 30 and dragged down at the Red Raider 28-yard line. It's a gain of 15 and another Blue Devil first down.
How many times did he change directions there, Todd? And almost at full speed. Fortunately, that third change of direction allowed the pursuing defense to catch up to him, but constantly moving his feet, looking side to side, but moving forward at the same time. Greatness of where the holes are, just moving ahead, picking up yardage all the way.
Here's that up-speed tempo we were looking for.
Sorry, Kate. Wildcat offense continues with no huddle. Rivera on the snap, calls for it, gives it to James Gurley. Gurley sliding across the 30-yard line and down at the 27. He'll get a gain of about a yard on the play, and right now it almost seems like James Gurley's trying to do a little too much, trying to find his edge, so to speak, as he's trying to plant, cut, and move up the field.
Well, you know, he had that big 62-yard run last week. I believe that might have been out of the Rocket offense, but he's starting to feel it. You know, he was playing great the first couple games of the year until he twisted his ankle, and it's taken him a while to round back into shape.
Officially no gain on the play. Second down and 10 from the Red Raider 28. Shotgun spread at the Wildcat spot. It's Rivera in the quarterback with Gurley in the backfield. The snap. Gurley and Rivera run into each other. Rivera keeps it, finds a hole straight over the A gap, advances the football to the 25-yard line of the Red Raiders. A gain of 3, 3rd and 7.
Fortunate not to have the ball come loose there. Looked like Rivera and Gurley kind of ran into each other. Rivera got the ball back in his hands. I'm not sure he was the intended ball carrier there, but luckily to pick up any positive yardage. As it is, he gained 3, I believe, on the play. Brings up third and 6.
Absolutely, Billy. A lot of excitement down on the field. You can feel the energy. It's palpable in the building tonight before a massive crowd here at Doyle Field representing both schools. The 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg for the Central Mass Division II Sectional Championship. Rivera out of the Wildcat, the snap, fake the handoff to Gurley, kept it himself, stacked up at the line, nice defensive play there. Red Raiders Stephen Bartolomeo caves in that line at the front. He will close in along with Mark Merchant.
One of those players, I believe, that goes both ways, using that beef they have on offense, on defense also, across the front. But once again, a big play, second big play here that we've seen here in this first quarter. First one went the Blue Devils' way on 4th and long. We'll have to see if they can get this one to go their way on their own 4th and long.
That's right, 4th and long for the Blue Devils on the Red Raider 27-yard line.
Yeah, 4th down and 8 to go. They need to advance the football to the Red Raider 19-yard line for the first down. 10 seconds on the play clock, and Leominster High School head coach Dave Palazzi says timeout, and he'll take a full timeout to talk this one over with his entire squad, stopping the clock with 2:31 left here in the first quarter. No score, the Leominster Blue Devils and the Fitchburg Red Raiders, the 132nd edition. Gives us an opportunity to mention both on WPKZ and on Leominster Access Television tonight. Blue Devils wearing the home royal blue tops with the white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue. The white helmets with the single royal blue stripe up the middle. The Red Raiders tonight wearing that new brick red color, mostly white from top to bottom. White jerseys, the white bottoms, the brick red numerals front and back, the brick red helmets with the single white stripe up the center. FHS in script on one side, the player's number on the other side of the helmet in white numerals as well.
That was very well done.
Thank you. It's the radio portion of the program.
The set that the Blue Devil offense came out for that 4th down play, they went back to the conventional set with Noah back at the quarterback spot. Definitely changing things up here from down to down, series to series, and we'll have to see how this plays out here on this big 4th down.
Once again, 4th and long, 5th play of the drive coming up for the Blue Devils.
4th and 8, they need to move the ball to the Red Raider 19 for the first. It's a shotgun spread. Noah Gray back at the quarterback spot. Gray got some time, looks, swings it out, drops it off, and Eddie Rivera juggles and drops it. Incomplete Turnover on downs, the ball back to the Red Raiders, and simply put, Eddie Rivera heard footsteps.
Yeah, I think he knew that there wasn't much happening there. That play took way too long to develop. I don't think he was the first, second, or even third option out of that. But once again, when it comes to the passing game, the Blue Devils hit a little speed bump there and end up stalling out, ends up costing him the drive.
Eddie Rivera trying to find the ability to get the ball in hand. You've got to catch the football before you move it. First down and 10 to go for the Red Raiders. It's an I formation. Diaz with Marrero dotting. Little counter motion for Marrero. He gets the handoff from Flowers, takes it on the left side, crosses the 20 and is taken down at the 22-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Good job by Keith Jackson from his outside linebacker position to come up and challenge Marrero there, dropping him after a short gain.
2nd down, maybe a long 6 coming up here as the ball is at the Red Raider 31-yard line at left hash. 1:55 and counting left here in quarter one. No score, Fitchburg and Leominster. 132nd edition here tonight. It's an I formation. Diaz with Marrero dotting. Flowers under center, the snap. Puts it in the hands of Marrero. Bounces it to the outside right. Crosses the 30, the 31, and down at the 32-yard line. Gain of another 1. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Nice shot by Derek Hood there. Derek Hood.
Hood, yes.
I believe he tripped him up while he was laying on the ground. Good awareness by Derek.
And we see the back judge coming in, having a conversation with Keith Jackson and Travis Storm about keeping their mouths shut after the play. We talked about the key to rein in the stupid penalties. The officials are going to go with discretion as well. They don't want to make a key 15-yard personal foul. But if you're pushing, shoving, and running your mouth and sticking it in players' faces, there are sportsmanship rules in the MIAA. You got to shut up here. 3rd down and 5. Flowers the snap. The give to Marrero. He bounces it to the outside laterally. Flags are down on the play, as is Marrero. But those flags surrounded that play. I've got to imagine, given that it was a one-on-one matchup, you've got either a hold from behind there or you've got to assume there was a face mask. White hat Bob Bonsi will have the call.
Fitchburg's
it is a major face mask
offense
against the Red Raiders. Coach Palazzi will have the choice of 15 yards and a replay of 3rd down or 4th down and about 4 to go.
It's like they're going to make them
major
try
face
to convert on 4th down.
Declined, and it'll bring up 4th down. So Coach Palazzi says no to the 15-yard personal foul on the offense, and we'll take 4th down and 4. Red Raiders need to move the ball to their own. It looks like about the 38-yard line for a 1st down.
And I'm going to play mind reader here. Knowing the big play capability of the Red Raiders, I don't think Coach Palazzi wanted to give him an extra shot on 3rd down, where it's still 4th in a punting situation.
Fagundo Isas stands back at his own 19-yard line to punt. Low snap, fielded by Isas, gets a good punt away. It will take a high hop. Rivera will reel it in, attempt to advance the football. He crosses the Blue Devil 35 and slips down at the 38-yard line. And on a natural surface tonight, you would think, on a turf surface, you would think we were playing on a natural surface that's covered in mud. Players slipping and sliding. This is not a frozen field. It's not a muddy field. It's still a Sport X field turf surface.
Yeah, actually, I was down on the field before the game, Todd. It's got some good spring to it. You know, it's got that rubberized pellets in it that kind of, it has that give, but a little slippery there in the early going.
Apparently. It brings up 1st down and 10 for the Blue Devils. They've got the football going left to right. 36 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. 3 receivers in the formation, 2 of them at the wide side right, and on the snap, Gray hands the ball to Eddie Rivera, plunges it back into the line, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10, and what we're seeing right now, Red Raiders doing a good job of stopping the Blue Devils up front, and that is a place where they have controlled the line of scrimmage for 7 weeks.
Yeah, you know, but the Blue Devils did show some success out of that Wildcat in that previous series, and I'm expecting to break out that rocket offense before too long, Todd. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to keep it in their pocket till the second half, but we'll have to see how this plays out.
Half a yard gained. It'll be 2nd and 9.5, and Coach Palazzi says that's the end of the quarter. And so the officials will wave it off. 1 quarter of play in the books here from Doyle Field with the score. Leominster nothing, Fitchburg nothing. The teams will change ends. We continue the 132nd meeting when we come back. You're listening to Leominster High School football on WPKZ AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. First opportunity for bonus coverage for our viewers joining us live on Leominster Access Television tonight. If you chose to stay home tonight due to the weather, I can say simply why.
Where
all
are
it is,
ya?
all of 33 degrees out here. There is no wind, calm
Beautiful.
skies. It's a gorgeous night for November the 14th, and where better to be than be a part of the 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg for the sectional championship.
I mean, this is perfect football weather, Todd. You know, got some snow last night. It cleared up, but made us feel like it was winter. But this is just perfect football weather, and so far, a very spirited, hard-hitting game. Mostly played between the 30s, and here we go in the second quarter, still 0-0.
A stalemate first quarter of action. As we come out to the left hash, 39-yard line, Blue Devils with the football. Second down, 9.5, shotgun formation. 4 receivers in the formation, evenly spread out for Noah Gray, 2 on either side. Rivera's in the backfield with Gray, and Gray on 2nd and 9 asks for the football. Back to pass, throws the screen, out complete this time to Eddie Rivera, but it is stacked up and driven back. Nice job by Isis Fagundo, Leonardo Ramirez, Mike Merchant, Stephen Bartolomeo, and more, caving in that left side of the Blue Devil line.
But you know who wasn't over there was any Blue Devils to help Eddie out blocking. He was out there all by himself, and that little swing pass was going nowhere.
As we welcome you back to historic Doyle Field on WPKZ. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer. You missed the second down and 9. It was a screen pass complete to Eddie Rivera. Lost 3 yards in the play. It'll bring up third down and 12 for the Blue Devils back at their own 38-yard line. Shotgun spread, 4 receivers in the formation on third down and long. They need to advance the ball to their own 49. On the snap, Gray's back to pass. Launches one deep down the field and overthrown for a streaking James Gurley. Nick Miles, the defensive back, was nearer the football. Nonetheless, it's incomplete, and it brings up fourth down and 12, and the stalemate continues.
And the passing game continues to sputter here early in the game. No, it's just off a little bit tonight, not picking up the reads, or him and his receivers are not quite on the same page right now. I believe 1 pass completion for -yards, Kate?
Right now, 1 of 6 for 3 yards. That's a 17% completion.
Ouch. Anthony Dandini from his own 25 to punt. Good snap. Kick is away. A wobbler. Darius Flowers lets it go over his head. It takes a Blue Devil bounce. Keith Jackson chases it down. It continues to roll. It'll roll dead at the Red Raiders 6-yard line. Beautiful punt off the right foot of Anthony Dandini.
59 positive yards, Todd. Wow, for a high school kicker, that's tremendous.
He has done yeoman's work this year, and Coach Palazzi will admit, although he doesn't like talking about how great his punter is, Anthony Dandini has certainly done the job of changing field position at key times of the ball game.
We'll have to see if the Blue Devils can take advantage of this now. It's time for the defense to step up. The Red Raiders defense was on the field for quite a while there, although they did have the change in quarters. We'll have to see how this momentum change affects the offense.
Red Raiders out of an eye on 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line, going left to right. The give for Marrero, the tailback. He carries it forward across the 10-yard line up to the 11. Gain of about maybe 3 on the play. Make it 2. Call it 2nd and 8.
Hector Aponte in on the tackle from his linebacker spot.
5, Todd.
Or maybe from this angle, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Still 5. Gain of 5.
Tough to tell.
Still a gain of 5.
Sure, we'll call it 5. Second down and 5. They need to advance the ball to their own 21-yard line through the Red Raiders for a first down.
Their own 16,
Nope, 16
Todd. Their
Todd.
own 16.
On 16.
Or maybe their own 16-yard line.
You'll
I'm
get
looking at the same field.
You'll
I
get
promise.
it. You'll
I
get
feel
it.
like Eddie Rivera. I can't stand up. Here's the snap. They give it to Marrero. He bounces it to the outside right. Defense will cave on him. Anthony Dandini leading the tackles there, and Deuce Franks coming forward underneath.
I believe
It looks like a gain of 1.
Looks like a gain of 4.
those are 4 fingers. 4.
It'll be 3rd and 1
This meant 4. Yeah, third down and
4.
1.
for the Red.
I'll be okay.
But 5 minus 4 is 1, so I think that's what, there's got to be a 1 there somewhere.
Somewhere. Yes, Alex Marrero ran the football. I got that much.
Thank you.
Third down and 1 to go. They need to advance the ball to their own 16-yard line for a first down
Well
to the Red
done,
Raiders.
sir.
Big
Well
play
done.
by the Blue Devils defense here.
Out of an eye, the snap. They gave it to Diaz, and he drives it forward. He got that yard and more. Advancing the football to the 17-yard line of the Red Raiders. It is a Fitchburg first down.
Their
Giving it to the
4th first
fullback.
down. Fourth first down of the evening.
Fullback on that quick hitter. picks up that 1 yard plus a couple extra.
And you can see the holes on the replay on Leominster Access Television opening up in the front line. The Red Raiders front five doing a great job to find some holes for their running backs.
Working on their left side. We'll have to see if they start favoring that side more than the right side. I'm sure they have a tendency.
On first down and 10, Flowers the snap, gives it to Marrero. He's got some room. Marrero's got a block, get away from a defender, get the outside, crossing the 30, run down from behind by Connor Skinner. Did a nice job chasing him down. Great backside pursuit, gain of 15, and it's a Red Raider first down.
You know, we know Alex Marrero's going to get those yards. Almost had the edge there. Good job by Connor Skinner to track him down from behind before he could turn upfield. Otherwise, he was gone down the sideline.
It'll be a first down and 10, Red Raiders at their own 33-yard line at right hash. Personnel change, flag down.
Off the field.
Nick Miles was an extra man on the field. They had 12 men in the huddle, so it's a substitution problem there for the Red Raiders. Illegal substitution signaled against the Red Raiders. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. It'll be first and 15.
You know, and I was watching him run out there. I'm like, wow, he's going out there awful far to be the wide receiver, way outside the hash by the numbers, but he never stopped.
You got to do that nonchalantly.
Now we know why.
They do. The 5-yard penalty marks the Red Raiders back across their own 30 to their own 28-yard line. So it'll be first and 15 from their own 28.
And just so people know, you can't huddle up 12 kids and run one off.
Correct.
Because you can't put the defense at that perceived disadvantage in that fashion.
Problems with the sticks on the sideline, all sorts of problems over there. Now the snap, Marrero's got the football. Marrero advances it, crosses the 35-yard line and down.
Can't understand why they were moving the first down markers over there. Something happened.
Yeah, something definitely happened over on the far side of the field. The down marker wasn't in the right spot, and then the chain gang thought they were yelling at them, so they started to try to move, and chaos over on the far side of the field. Where's Bob Cross when you need him?
Yeah, I know it, huh? Brings up second and about 8.
House.
Needs to run a clinic. Second down and 8 to go, and the ball at the 35-yard line, center of the field. Flowers under center, in an eye.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. A snap and the give. Marrero this time closed from behind and dragged down by Hector Aponte, who got inside, got on the back of Marrero, and Horse Collard take him down from behind. Or Horse rode him down, didn't Horse collar him. Horse rode him right down to the ground.
Good job by Hector Aponte to break through the offensive blockers there and get Alex Marrero from the backside before Alex could put any moves on. Just wrestled him to the ground. Looks like no gain.
It'll be third down, 7 to go. Red Raiders need to advance the football to their own 43-yard line for the first down. It's an I formation with Flowers under center, and the snap gives it to Marrero. Marrero grabbed from behind and dragged down on the play. Got it back to the line at best, no gain. Fourth down, 7 to go.
Looked like Kevin Baran leading the way that time from his nose tackle position. Good job there by the Blue Devils defense to stiffen and force this fourth down punt.
Fourth down, 7 yards to go. The Red Raiders need to get the ball to their own 43-yard line for the first down. Fagundo Isas does the punting. He stands at his own 23-yard line to punt. Eddie Rivera to do the return duties. He's standing around the Blue Devil 30-yard line. Isas with a high snap, fielded it, gets the punt away. It's a high punt, got to clear out. It will roll toward the 40-yard line where it will be touchdown, and that's where Leominster will start with the football. First down and 10 from their own 40, 5:03 left here in the second quarter. No score, a stalemate through a quarter and a half.
And Red Raiders, they were able to get back some of that positive yardage that they lost on that great punt by Anthony Dandini. Pretty much just a field position change here from each side of the 50, Todd, at this point. You know, I'm sure Kate's got some numbers, but it's been slow and steady, but mostly played between the 20s up to this point.
That would be absolutely correct.
First down and 10 for the Blue Devils out of the conventional I. Under center is Gray. Rivera's dotting the I in the snap. The give this time for Anthony Dandini, and Dandini forward across the left side, battles across the 43 and up to the 44-yard line. Gain of 4, second and 6.
Marcos Dios leading the way for the Red Raiders defense. not before Dandini, who got a strong four yards there on that first down carry. But I think that what we just saw there, the Blue Devils need to change up a bit. You can't just give it to a steady diet of Eddie Rivera. Obviously, the Red Raiders have done their scouting, and they're keen on Eddie.
Second down, 6 to go from the Blue Devil 44 as they continue from right to left. Need to move the ball to midfield for a first down. Double running backfield out of the gun, the snap. Gray gives it to James Gurley, left to right, turns the right corner, gives up his feet across the 48-yard line and down at the 49 of the Blue Devils. It'll bring up third down and a yard to go.
Nice slashing run there by James Gurley, and looked like Deuce Frank's out here working a little bit on Manny Payton. Up close in-your-face defense by Manny out here on the corner on Deuce, and I think Deuce is looking to get his hands on the ball and show Manny what he can do.
Third down, 1 yard to go. The Blue Devils need to advance the ball to midfield for a reset. Rocket offense on the field, and Coach Palazzi says timeout. Just a personnel change. They've got the wrong guys on the field, so nobody really having any discussion. Shane Creighton was in there at the quarterback spot. He will be in there at the quarterback spot right now, but Coach Palazzi had to take the timeout to get the right number of players on the field.
Right, I don't think it was a personnel change. It was a personnel addition. Looked like Izzy Castillo didn't realize they were going to their third option on their offense there. He's over here on the sideline, not expecting to be part of that package.
So Shane Creighton, little Shane Creighton, all 5'4", and approximately 147 pounds. I'll bet that's after a full meal.
That's with all his equipment on, too,
probably. You got that right.
Update from the King Philip Marshfield game, 14-6. Marshfield right now in the second.
On third down and a yard, the snap and the give was for Dandini. Straight up the middle he went. Wing officials are converging.
Left, right.
It looks like they are about a half a yard shy if they go on the left foot of the wing official on the near side.
I think he's got the first down here.
No.
Now Bob Bonzi says he's shy by a half a yard.
He's going by the yards, and he's not touching that 50-yard line marker, and that's right where they got to get.
So it'll bring up fourth down and a half a yard right in the center of the field. Blue Devils right on top of that Doyle Field running devil. Need a half a yard for the first down. I backfield. Dandini with Rivera dotting. Gray is under center on fourth and a half a yard. Defense showing blitz. Gray the snap, the pile caves. Gray will fall across the midfield stripe to the Red Raider, 49 and a half. That'll be good for a first down.
Blue Devils now 1 of 2 in fourth down conversions on the night.
Good job by Noah Gray, taking a step back there and then just charging forward just to the left of his center there over the tackle guard side to the left side of the front, and got a yard and a half. That's all he needed.
Blue Devils offense with 3 first downs on the evening so far, and again 1 of 2 on fourth down conversions. This is the 4th play of the drive coming up.
First down and 10 for the Blue Devils right at midfield. Pistol formation. Receiver to either side, and Gray asks for the football. Back to pass on 3 steps. Looks left, looks right, nowhere to go but down. It's a sack. Noah Gray dropped in the backfield. Great penetration at the line. Looked like Bartolomeo with Ramirez and Merchant in the neighborhood.
Coach Palazzi livid at Noah Gray for not getting rid of the ball there. You know, he had a couple of wideouts, and you got to throw it up. You know, big front four coming at you, and you can't expect your offensive line to hold the blocks more than 2 or 3 seconds. Noah took a little too much time. Next thing you know, he got swallowed up by the Red Raiders defense.
Loss of 6 on the play, 2nd and 16. Back across the Blue Devil 45 at the 44-yard line. Shotgun spread, 2 receivers on the short side right, and Coach Palazzi is incensed. Fired up on the sideline, calling everybody over on the timeout, screaming at his young quarterback and some of the other personnel. We take a quick break. You're listening to Leominster High School football on WPKZ. Continuing along in bonus coverage on Leominster Access Television. Radio will rejoin us momentarily as you see the conversation down on the field. Coach Palazzi, Bill Thomas, not happy. Right players not in the right spots.
Well, I got to give Coach Palazzi credit. He was livid as he walked out there, had a couple of choice words, but instantly went into coach's mode and got everybody around him. You know, you can't dwell on that kind of stuff. He made his point within the first 5 seconds. The players out there knew that they weren't all on the same page.
As we welcome you back to historic Doyle Field on WPKZ. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer tonight. And Bill was just mentioning during our bonus coverage on Leominster Access Television the brilliance of Coach Palazzi, screaming, incensed, fired up, and immediately what makes him a genius, Bill Thomas, is what you were saying. He flips it right over to coach's mode after he gets it across.
Until he got everybody together, he had a couple of choice words for a couple of players that apparently weren't on the same page as the other 9, but immediately gets everybody together and calls a play.
And that's what makes him a genius. Second down, 16 to go. Ball at the 44-yard line of the Blue Devils as they go right to left. 4 receivers in the formation, and Gray is back to pass. He's got some time, looks over the center of the field. Gray is hit, and it is an interception! Darius Flowers with the over-the-shoulder INT. He'll turn it around down the left side, crossing the 30 to 35, and out of bounds there at the Red Raider 35-yard line. Sophomore Noah Gray floats a pass downfield. He'd gotten away with it on a couple of occasions, but not that time. Darius Flowers makes him pay.
You know, Noah never really stepped up into that, just kind of winged it out there, and James Gurley able to catch up to it. Looked like Darius Flowers was the intended receiver. Nice over-the-shoulder grab by Darius, and the ball's coming back the other way now.
Willie Mays style over-the-shoulder interception for Darius Flowers, and it's Red Raider football, first down and 10 at their own 33-yard line, going left to right. 1:40 left here in the second quarter. The snap, and Alex Marrero's got the football, and Marrero will drive it up to the 35. Gain of a yard, second down and 9.
Nice job by Nate Lambert there to get him by the shoe tops as he came through the line. Cleaned up by the rest of the linebackers. Nice team tackle there, but led by Nate Lambert. I'm trying to see where Noah is down here. He's kind of standing by himself. Uncharacteristic for Noah, though. Usually we see him throwing the ball whenever he's over here on the sideline. You know, I know he's probably a little dejected, but he's got to shake himself out of that, get his head on straight for the next series, which could be coming up very shortly.
And John Savatelli came over and told him just that. There's Coach Phil Pizziconi telling him the same thing on the sideline. Back on the field, second and 9. Flowers is back to pass, being chased back, and he is sacked. The front 3 for the Blue Devils again. Hector Aponte, Kevin Baran, Derek Hood, Anthony Dandini from the linebacking core all in on the sack.
Yeah, great job there, leading the way. Kevin Baran all the way, got his arms around Flowers, and he wasn't getting away. The rest of the team in there to help clean it up.
Blue Devils take a timeout to stop the clock with 46 seconds left here in the first half. Coming up at the half, for those of you joining us on Leominster Access Television, you'll have a performance by the Leominster High School Marching Band. For those of you joining us on the radio side, we've got an update around the world from ABC News, a full stat recap, an update on the halftime scoreboard around the playoffs tonight, particularly in Division II statewide, plus a preview of second half action. All of that's coming up approximately 46 seconds game time from now right here on WPKZ. On third down and 12, Flowers out of an eye. The snap, this time he puts it in the hands of Marrero. Marrero crosses the 35 and is dragged down at the 38-yard line. Gained some positive yards back there. Looks like a gain of about 6. 3 positive yards, third and 7. No, make that, fourth down and 5.
And it looks like Coach Palazzi's going to be content here. Nope, now he calls a timeout. He let about 20 seconds run off the clock there. Not really sure if he's looking just to maybe set up a defense and watch out for a fake here, but let a lot of time run off the clock, and I don't think he has any intent of doing anything offensively. Just trying to hope that they don't get burned by anything that Fitchburg does.
Coach Palazzi will pull his team into a huddle quickly over here on the sideline. Clock is stopped with 21 seconds left here in the first half. A fast-moving first half of action between the Blue Devils and Red Raiders. A stalemate draw with 21 seconds to play here in the first half, and the Blue Devils may be looking to get themselves a short field opportunity where maybe they can strike before halftime.
We'll have to see if they come out here in a straight-up defense. I would definitely look for a fake here.
Fagundo Isas, the punter, is on the field.
I'd be watching Diaz, the short man here in this setup. They have a player under center? Nope.
No, but his punt formation with Isas standing at the 29. It's a high snap, fielded, and the punt is away, and it's a beaut. Eddie Rivera will return it, taking it off the shoulder pad. Crosses the 30, now laterally changes fields across the 35, turns it north across the 40, and is dragged down there. And Leominster will have 9 seconds left here in the first half. Maybe one home run try, or you kneel the football down here at your own 41.
I think you kneel the football down here, Todd. you know, the Blue Devils haven't had much success throwing the ball. And, you know, there's three things that could happen when you throw the ball, and two of them are bad. So,
one of them just happened.
And I'd hate to see something turn this, you know, great defensive matchup here that we've seen in the first half turn something around on a mistake here as the half winds down.
Tight bunch formation here as Gregg comes to the line under center. He snaps it, he kneels it down, and the last 9 ticks of the first half come off the scoreboard clock. 1 half of play in the books in the Division II Central Mass Sectional Championship from Doyle Field tonight, the 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. Through 1 half of play, no score here at Doyle Field, a defensive battle tonight.
You know, we touched on the two great defenses that were matching up tonight and how they could create turnovers. Red Raiders got the turnover side going, but they don't have anything on the scoreboard. Blue Devils defense has done a fantastic job holding the Red Raiders running game down, especially Alex Marrero, but you can't expect him to be held in check the entire night. Blue Devils are doing a great job of it up to this point.
Leominster Access Television will have a performance from the Leominster High School Marching Band coming up. For those of you joining us on the radio side, we've got an update around the world from ABC News, a full stat recap from half number 1. We'll update the scores around the playoffs tonight and preview second half action. All that's here on WPKZ. What a first half of action here from Doyle Field. Fitchburg nothing, Leominster nothing. More to come. You're listening to Leominster High School football on WPKZ, AM 1280, 105.3 FM.
Check.
You are watching 20 games for 20 years on Leominster TV. We now continue with the action.
What do both teams need to do in the second half?
Well, on the Blue Devils side of things, offensively, they need to just put a drive together. Noah Gray misfiring tonight in the passing game, so let's break out a little bit of offense, mix it up a little bit, and see if we can't get a positive drive going here and get in the end zone. On the other side of the ball, I think it's the same story for the Red Raiders. Their offense has been sputtering. They haven't put together a good drive yet. Alex Morero's been held in check, and you know, he's their big gun. Between him and Darius Flowers, Blue Devils defense is doing a great job controlling them. So I think it's the same story on each side. The offense needs to put something together for each team if they expect to carry the load here.
Once again, another update from the half in Division 6. We now have a halftime score. Blackstone Valley leads Littleton at the half by a 14-8 margin through one half in Division 6 Central Mass. Getting set for second half action. Blue Devils to kick off for the first time tonight. And this second half kickoff is brought to you by the El Camino Restaurant, 555 Central Street in Leominster, serving local patrons since 1971. They offer homemade Italian meals in a casual dining atmosphere. Come experience the warmth of family dining at the El Camino Restaurant in Leominster.
I could use some nice warm soup.
I could use some chicken piccata right about now as we get set for second half action here at Doyle Field. A packed crowd for the 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. Scoreless through one half of action. We're set for second half. The Golden Toe, Christian Lewis with the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line to our right. Lewis sends it end over end, right to left we go. Second half of action is underway, and Manny Payton's on the return from the right side to the left. Crosses the 25-yard line, cut left sideline. Across the 40 and drag down at the 44-yard line. It's a first down and 10 for the Red Raiders at their own 44 to start half number 2.
And good job by Manny Payton to get the Red Raiders offense good field position here as they start the second half.
Second half time and temperature brought to you by Sunroof Sound and Security. Sunroof Sound and Security on North Main Street in Leominster, installing top quality automotive electronics since 2002. Check them out on the web at sunsounds.us. Our Sunroof Sound and Security second half time and temperature, it's 8:02 and 34 degrees. We're up a degree from first half kickoff. On the snap, on first down and 10, Morero's got the handoff. Forward he goes, stacked up by the defense at the line, and driven back by the Blue Devils. Hector Aponte, Kevin Baran, Derek Hood, and a host of others drive Alex Morero back. It'll be a loss of 3.
Good penetration there by the Blue Devils defense to hit Morero behind the line of scrimmage. Never had a chance to get going and make any cuts. Ended up tackled for a loss. Let's see who got the first hit in there. It looked like Ponte. Good job breaking through the line there just to break that running play up.
Dandini was in there. I see Travis Storm as well, along with Derek Franks, who's had a quiet night in the first half of action. Loss of 2 officially on the play. Second down and 12 for the Red Raiders at their own 41, going left to right. Hard count, flags fly. There was some contact. Was there a flinch by the center, or did the Blue Devils' Derek Hood at the nose guard cross into the neutral zone? Bob Bonsi with the call. Hasn't had many penalties tonight. Just a major face mask in the first half against the Red Raiders, and that was it.
Looks like it's going against the Blue Devils here, Todd.
It is. It's an offsides against
neutral
the Blue
zone,
Devils.
Neutral zone infraction.
5 yards the penalty.
I believe that's the first penalty against the Blue Devils tonight.
It is their first penalty of the night, Todd. The Fitchburg Red Raiders did have that major 15-yard penalty, but they also had a 5-yard penalty in the second quarter.
Oh, they did, for an illegal substitution.
That is correct.
So after the 5-yard enforcement, it'll be second down and 7 to go. Ball across the Red Raider 45 at the 46-yard line, a step inside the right hash. I formation, Flowers under center with Diaz and Marrero dotting. The snap, the look to the left for Manny Payton, and the screen down the line, through the hands of Payton, and incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 7 to go.
And I think Payton heard the footsteps of Keith Jackson out there. He was going to take a pop one way or the other, and chose to protect himself and not haul that ball in. Good in-your-face defense out there, the wide out by Keith Jackson.
Coach Dan Walker talking with his quarterback, Darius Flowers, and into the huddle comes Flowers. Just underway with 3rd quarter action, 9:33 left here in quarter 3. No score, Fitchburg with the first possession of the second half. Flowers under center, offset I this time. Marrero is still dotting. Flowers the snap, gives it to Marrero on 3rd and 7. He's got right side, got midfield, got some room down the right sideline. It's a foot race, a stiff arm, buys him a couple of extra yards in front of Kyle Jackson, but he steps out of bounds across the Blue Devil 30 at the 28-yard line. It's a Red Raider first down on a gain of 26 for Alex Marrero.
Good job by Marrero out here on the near side, gaining the edge, and had some good blockers out there. His 2 wide receivers did a good job of tying up the 2 defensive backs out here and cleared out the sideline for him. Nice 26-yard run down the sideline, only saved from being a touchdown by Kyle Jackson, pushing him out of bounds.
That's the Red Raiders' 6th first down of the night.
First down and 10 to go for the Red Raiders at the Blue Devil 28-yard line, going left to right. Offset I, the snap. Marrero this time to the left side of the formation. Flag down from the umpire. It's in the area of offensive holding, right at the line of scrimmage. Marrero will gain 3, but a flag down on the play. Bob Bonsi says holding against the Red Raiders. A 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 20.
Wipe out that 5-yard gain there by Marrero. But, we talked a little bit at halftime. Can't expect to keep Marrero down. We've seen what he's done. He's got a 200-yard rushing game. He had a $184 against Wachusett last week. It's only a matter of time, and so far the Leominster defense is bent, but it hasn't broken yet, and it's a good time for them to stiffen up and maybe get a turnover on downs.
9-10 and counting left here in the 3rd quarter. First down and 20 for the Red Raiders, back across the Blue Devil 35 at the 38-yard line, a step inside of the right hash. Red Raiders would need to advance the ball to the Blue Devil 19-yard line for the first down. Make it the 18. I backfield, Diaz with Marrero dotting. The snap, and this time Flowers will keep it himself, look for a hole. Forward he plunges into the pile, move the ball to the Blue Devil 35-yard line, gain of 3, and that will make it 2nd and 17.
Not much there, and as usual, getting up from the bottom of the pile, Kevin Baran, smallest guy on that offensive line, but he has a way of getting under people and just creating havoc from down low. Once again, Kevin leading the charge there in the middle of the defense.
2nd and a country mile coming up for the Red Raiders.
And they'll need to advance the ball to the Blue Devil 18-yard line. The Red Raiders wearing the road whites, tops and bottoms, brick red at the helmet, single white stripe up the middle, FHS on one side, the players' numerals on the opposite side. Flowers goes under center out of an eye. Double move, fakes the first move. Down the field he launches. Deep they go. Jump ball. Travis Storm completing with Nick Miles, and the pass will fall incomplete.
He needs to be careful.
Good job by Travis Storm there, gaining inside position on a ball that looked to be slightly underthrown. If that ball's extended out there another 3 to 5 yards, allow the wide receiver to run under it. You can see there at the end of the play, good job on defense, but Nick Miles had to slow up there and let the ball come to him. Allowed Travis Storm to get into the play.
4th incomplete pass in a row for the Red Raiders. The only completion, the first completion of the game for 14 yards, and that was to Nick Miles, but that was all the way back at the very beginning of the first quarter of play.
That was a jump ball. Travis Storm, well defended, got underneath Miles and got in front of the ball. 3rd down and 17, a rollout this time. Going to his left, Flowers throws on the run to the sideline. It is short and incomplete. The intended receiver was Manny Payton on a little sideline route. It would have left him about 5 yards if he caught it, but it will fall incomplete, and it brings up 4th and 17.
And now they're kind of in that strange yardage area here. You know, do you play for the ultimate field position, or do you punt the ball away here and try to pin the Blue Devils back deep in their own territory?
Fagundo Isas looking over at the sideline, trying to get a feel for who and what they want him to do.
Looks like they might go to the far corner here if he's going to try to extend this punt out.
Blue Devils with a defense in there. Isas gets a good snap and barely gets the punt away. It's a wobbler. Franks will let it hop. It continues to bounce and will be touched down at the Blue Devil 5-yard line. So a good coffin corner punt there by Facundo Isas. And the Blue Devils will have the ball, but it's 1st and 10 at their own 5-yard line.
And a good job off a high snap on top of it, Todd. You know, he had DeAndre Addo bearing down on him. If Addo takes a little more direct route to the punter, he might have got his hands on that. But playing it safe, didn't want to get a penalty out of that. Good job all around there by the punter to pin the Blue Devils deep back in their own territory at the 5-yard line.
So Leominster with their first offensive possession of the second half.
Coming out with the rocket.
1st and 10 out of the rocket at their own 5-yard line, going right to left. Creighton with a quick flip for Rivera. Rivera beats the first defender, crosses the 10-yard line, and is angled out of bounds around the 14-yard line.
I think we're going to see a steady dose of this here in the second half, Todd. You know, the Blue Devils not very successful with what they were trying to do until they went with this briefly in the first half. Then they got out of it. They got in a long yardage situation, went back to the passing setup. But I think we're going to see a steady diet of this here, Todd.
Second down, and 1 to go. The rocket in there. Creighton, this time with the flip to James Gurley. He comes from left to right across the formation. Steps across the 15-yard line to the 16. Got it by a yard, and it's a 1st down for James Gurley and the Blue Devils.
You know, and this might be a good way to wear down that Red Raider defense here. You know, pound it up the middle, make them block, make them play man up here, and take a little of the energy away from the Red Raiders' two-way players here if they can get a sustained drive with this offensive set.
That only the 4th first down of the Blue Devils football team tonight.
All 5'6" of Shane Creighton running the rocket under center.
This is my favorite.
Creighton the snap and the quick flip this time. It's for Eddie Rivera coming from right to left. Turns the corner at the left side, back across the 15 of the 16. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
You know, we talked about Shane Creighton leading the way there off that flip, but he's matching up against people twice his size today. One of our fans coming in the booth.
Bill Thomas getting hugs. What's
Hi,
going
Jasmine.
on here? It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Shotgun formation here. Gray with the conventional offense. 3 receivers, 2 of them are on the short side left. Gray with Rivera in the backfield. 2nd and 10, and on the snap. Gray faked the handoff, kept it himself. Forward he goes into the hole around the 20-yard line, taken down there. Gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6 to go. And once again, Bill, another Blue Devil looking like they're having footing problems on their home SportX surface, and we didn't install this over the weekend.
No, you would think they would have the right shoe matchup here, but there could be a little underlying ice there. You know, we did have a little bit of an episode last night. There could be some hidden ice and some moisture there that's affecting the footing.
WCVB's Harvey Leonard getting all excited with permafrost. 3rd down and 6 to go. Shotgun, 4 receivers in the formation. 2 to either side. Back to pass Gray. Looks one side, comes back to the other. Complete in the hands of Deuce Franks, but down it goes and backward it goes. Loss of at least 1, maybe 2 on the play. It'll be 4th down and 8 to go for the Blue Devils from their own 18-yard line.
Tight coverage out there. I think that was Manny Payton. I didn't get the number. We're going to see it on replay here. But Deuce being played straight up by the Red Raiders defense. And it is Manny Payton in there, wasting no time to bring Deuce down for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Nice look from the low angle there, brought to you by the volunteers of Leominster Access Television. On 4th down, 8 to go. Dandini to punt, good snap, gets the punt away. It will be returned by Darius Flowers from his own 43-yard line. Flowers is shifty, still on his feet, and now hit by the defense and driven back. A lot of moves there. Little left, little right, little back, more flags. Everybody's talking after the play, spitting and scratching all across the field.
Too much dancing going on there, but a nice job by Dylan Nadeau to finally corral Darius Flowers.
And Coach Palazzi's got a Blue Devil and is bringing him over to the sideline. We await the penalty. Personal foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Blue Devils. It'll be 15 yards at the end of the run and an automatic 1st down. The Red Raiders were getting the football, but they get to advance 15 yards as well. all the way up to the Blue Devil 42-yard line, where they will set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 42, and Jesus Cortez got the hook. He got told to sit down for a while. Coach Palazzi not happy. He got tied up in something and let the Red Raiders talk him into a 15-yard personal foul.
Yeah, I can't see what was going on there in the pack, but something didn't turn out right on the Blue Devils side.
So Flowers in the I formation. The snap gives it to the fullback Diaz. Forward he goes across the 40-yard line and up to the 37. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Once again, Red Raiders just pounding that ball between the tackles, looking to soften him up. But we saw what Alex Marrero can do when he gets outside, and you pull the defenders into the middle, and then that's when Alex does his best work on the edge.
Clock winds down, under 4.5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Still no score. The 132nd meeting of Leominster and Fitchburg. Under center, Flowers the snap, gives it to Marrero. Marrero pierces the hole. Marrero's off to the races, up the center of the field. He is gone. It's a Red Raider touchdown. Alex Marrero, a 38-yard run to pay dirt, and the Red Raiders draw first blood. 4:05 left in the 3rd quarter. It's Fitchburg 6 and Leominster nothing.
We knew we weren't going to keep Alex Marrero down. Straight up the gut, right between the tackles, breaks into the secondary. Safety's not home there, and then it's just a run to daylight. Out races, looks like one of the Jackson boys into the end zone. Keith Jackson, but no match for Marrero's speed.
Darius Flowers does the place kicking. Andrew Lauer to hold. The snap, it was high, it was fielded. The kick is away from Flowers, and it's through. And as the teams come back up the field with 4:05 left in the 3rd quarter, it's Fitchburg 7 and Leominster nothing, and we got a lot more to come. You're listening to Leominster High School football on WPKZ, AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. Continuing along in bonus coverage for our viewers on Leominster Access Television tonight, our 15th season of Leominster High School football on LATV. We want to thank our great volunteers led by Jack Selly, Carl Pamarini. Jane is here as well, our executive director and award winner, our executive producer and award winner Bradley Bedard. Jeff Sylvia here as well, and a host of other volunteers. We thank them all for giving up their cold Friday night, and we appreciate their assistance as well for LATV tonight. Kate, on our bonus coverage here on LATV, the drive summary.
Stats on that scoring drive for the Red Raiders. 2-play drive covering 1 minute and 41 yards total. It ends on a 38-yard touchdown run by Alex Marrero. The extra point is good. It is 7-0 in Fitchburg's favor.
And let's not discount what that personal foul did to that drive by getting the Red Raiders on the Blue Devils side of the 50-yard line, and that was a free 15 yards for them.
As we welcome you back to historic Doyle Field, Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, and Kate Meyer. Facundo Isas sends the squibber up the center of the field. It is bobbled by James Gurley. He has to go back and field it at his own 17. Gurley picks it up, a little shifting, got some room, crosses the 25, and taken down at the 28-yard line. Nice return by James Gurley. It was botched from the start, but was able to pick it up. Got it out to the Blue Devil 29, and that's where they'll set up shop. 1st down and 10 at their own 29 at left hash, and Bill Thomas, the Blue Devils wearing the home blues trimmed in white with the royal blue trim as well, white helmets with the single royal blue stripe. They've put themselves in a hole, losing 7-0.
Yeah, well, somebody had to score here, Todd, and if the Blue Devils don't score, it doesn't matter what happens here. They need to get something going offensively.
Wildcat offense is on the field, and the trips is on the short side left. Eddie Rivera with the snap. And Rivera will give it to James Gurley, who's got some room on the right side. Turns the corner at the right sideline, crosses the 35, dragged down from behind. That tackle was high around the collar. No flags down on the play. The game looked like it was about 9 before the marker went down.
Must have had him by the shirt there, but it did look like he had him by the back of the neck. Officials right on top of it, so we're not going to doubt what happened over there. We don't have the best view of that sideline from up here. But it was a good 9-yard run by James Gurley to get the Blue Devils offense going here. I think the key here, Todd, they got to keep it on the ground. Just Noah's been misfiring in the air, and I think you got to use the legs of Gurley and Rivera at this point.
2nd and a yard. The Wildcat continues. Rivera calling the quarterback signals, 2 at the short side right. Here's the snap. Gurley's got it again, and Gurley puts the foot down, turns it upfield. He coughed up the football at midfield, and the Red Raiders are on top of it. 28 with the recovery is Andrew Lara, the linebacker. Dejected James Gurley on the field.
Put the ball on the ground right in midfield. Looked like he got it punched out from the backside after making a couple of nice moves. See if we can't pick it up here on the replay, Todd, and see who created that fumble.
You see Gurley put the foot in, turns the ball up the field.
Looked like 56 knocked the ball out there as the play progressed. Bruce Johnson, going to give Bruce Johnson credit for punching that ball out as James Gurley was falling to the ground.
And Andrew Lara got on top of it. The Red Raiders leading 7-0. 3.5 minutes left here in the third. Have the football at midfield. And on 1st and 10, the snap out of an eye. Gives it to Marcos Diaz, and Diaz gets it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd down and 10.
You know, and this is where we've seen the Blue Devils defense pick up the offense time and time again this year, Todd. When the offense puts the ball on the ground, turns it over, Blue Devils defense typically holds the offense and gets the ball back for their own offense, and good things end up happening. We'll have to see if that plays out this time.
And they're going to be asked to do it one more time at least here. 2nd down and 10. Spot at the midfield stripe out of the offset eye. Flowers the snap, gave it to Morero, and there's the Blue Devil defense caving in the front line of the Red Raiders. The linebacking core in there joining the front three. A loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 12.
And Anthony Dandini leading the way into the backfield, slowed Morero down, and then the rest of the defense was there stopping for a 2-yard loss.
3rd down and 12 to go. The ball back across midfield at the Red Raider 48-yard line at left hash. Play right now right on top of that running devil at the midfield stripe. Under 2.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Fitchburg 7 and Leominster nothing. Out of an eye. Flowers with the snap. Double fake. Rolls out to his right. Looks down the right sideline. Downfield and incomplete. Floated long across the sideline. The intended receiver was Manny Payton. Derek Franks, the defender, Nick Miles, the intended receiver.
17.
Derek Franks, the defender in the neighborhood.
But once again, we see the Blue Devils defense step up after the offense turns the ball over. 3 and out here for the Red Raiders, and this is where the Blue Devils offense needs to give credit to the defense and show them that how much they appreciate what they've just done.
And how many times can you go to the defensive well? 4th down and 12 at the Red Raider 48. Eddie Rivera to return, stands around his own 17-yard line. Facundo Isas stands at his own 35 to punt. Good snap, Isas gets it away. It's a duck heading toward the right sideline. Flag is down.
Bad penalty right there on Anthony Dandini, I'm guessing.
Was that a block in the back as the ball was out of bounds?
Looked like a blindside block there, if that's what they're calling. That's right where the flags went in. Not sure if they're talking about it.
It's Blue Devil football right now at their own 29-yard line.
It's going to be
Bob Bonsi talking things over with the officials. There's also a flag down around the original line of scrimmage as well, I'm just noticing, at about the 47-yard line of the Red Raiders.
We could have
an offset
here,
potentially, and a re-kick.
Although I'm thinking, I don't know how the dead ball foul plays into that. Could be an option here, but a lot of conversations going on amongst the officials. But I think the one we're seeing on the ground by the 35 was just a blindside hit by Anthony Dandini on a defenseless player as the ball was going out of bounds about 10 yards away from him.
Bob Bonsi meeting with 4 out of 5 of his crew members, having a discussion. They're taking an option over to Fitchburg head coach Dan Walker right now. Coach Dave Palazzi stands over on the near side of the field, talking to his sophomore quarterback, Noah Gray. Now Coach Palazzi would like an explanation to what's going on. Now they speak to a captain of the Red Raiders, and Coach Palazzi's still waiting for an explanation of what's going on.
How come they get to talk to him? He's Coach Palazzi right now talking to Anthony Dandini.
They're looking at field position, I believe, off the personal foul. They're pointing down towards the Blue Devils' end of the field.
So one marker is on the field at the Red Raider 47.
There could be 2 flags on the Blue Devils here. That flag was seen up midfield. Possibly could be an offside. We're not really sure what happened on the snap.
It's in the area of offensive holding.
Yeah,
though.
it's in the center of the field. That's where I was thinking it was potentially a hold. But then you also have the flag that is down that came at the tail end of the play.
That certainly is Anthony Dandini. We know that was telegraphed.
Yes, it was. And so here
Here
comes Bob Bonsi with the report. Walking over to the near side, Coach Palazzi sees the signal. Holding against the Red Raiders. That penalty is declined. A personal foul against the Blue Devils. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it will be Blue Devil football. So the Blue Devils decline the hold. Bob Bonsi now talking with Dave Plazzi. He wants to know why couldn't I accept the hold and then the 15-yard personal foul. And I think what they're doing
I
is
think that might give the Red Raiders a first down, though, on the personal foul if they were to do that.
I believe you are correct, because on the personal foul at the end of the play, it would be an automatic
right,
first
so
down.
if they're going to give the ball back to the Red Raiders, and I think that, I don't know how they could have forced either penalty here, though, to be honest with you, Todd.
Well, as you mentioned, Bill Thomas, one of those is a dead ball foul on Anthony Dandini. The ball was already out of bounds.
Right.
So you know that 15 yards is going to come either way. Coach Palazzi is not happy, clearly, still with the explanation he's getting from Bob Bonsi and his crew.
My favorite is that Connie Curley's in the mix down there too. She's got a front row seat.
She was out at the hash mark. She wanted to walk over and
I want to go down and ask Connie what's going on.
I'd love to know what her
sideline
is. If only Connie Curley had a microphone
I
right now, we'd know what was going on down on the field.
She's right in the mix, though. I love it.
That's what you get for living on View Street.
That's right.
Coach Palazzi doesn't seem to agree with the explanation of how the hold against the Red Raiders was declined, but they never came over and talked to him.
Oh boy! Now we're gonna go mark it off. Oh boy!
Now Coach Palazzi, he wants to talk to the official who threw the flag over on the far side. The discussions continue.
I think we're doing math.
It looks very much like math is going on the field. Does anybody get a protractor in the crowd?
Slide rule. Anyone?
Slide rule, protractor. The crowd is confused, as you can imagine. If I'm confused, as are my fellow broadcast partners.
Here we go.
Holding is declined. Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on the late hit against the Blue Devils is 15 yards. That'll be enforced from the end of the play.
So no change in the call.
And it'll be no change in the call after all that conversation down on the field. They'll mark off 15 yards. The Blue Devils were going to get the football 1st and 10 at their own 29. Mark it back 15 yards. They'll have it 1st and 10 across their own 20, somewhere in the area of their own 15.
Yeah, they're going to have a long field here when this is all said and done, but at least they do have possession of the ball. But yeah, that was an ugly hit by Anthony Dandini. Not characteristic of him. We haven't seen that type of off-the-ball, dead-ball emotion from Dandini. We know he plays with emotion, but he's done a very good job of playing very under control this season. You know, we see that from some of the younger players, but looks like the Blue Devils coming out on offense one way or the other.
Officially on their 15-yard line.
Yes, 1st down and 10 from their own 15, trailing 7-0, 2:06 left here in the 3rd. Shotgun spread. Gurley comes in motion. They fake the handoff to him on the end around, and they give it to Eddie Rivera. Takes it forward on the left side, crosses the 15-yard line, and moves it up to the 17. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
A little bit of misdirection there. Running a couple of fakes.
Now, uncharacteristically tonight, Eddie Rivera right now with 7 touches with 29 yards.
Well, I dare say that the Red Raiders probably have him as the key with 1 or 2 linebackers just going wherever he goes.
I think you have to.
Irregardless of what anybody else is doing. Let the rest of the defense take care of business.
2nd and 7. The Blue Devils need to advance into their own 25 for a 1st down. Gray in a shotgun spread. 2 receivers to the right side. Fake the hand up to Rivera, and Gray will keep it himself. Gray's got some room across the 25 and down at the 26-yard line. A tough run by the quarterback, the sophomore Noah Gray. It's a gain of 7, and it's a Leominster 1st down.
Good job by Noah Gray there, and I think it's obvious there that the Red Raiders are keen on Eddie Rivera. He was tackled by multiple Red Raiders there without having the ball, and allowed Noah Gray to find a hole in the right side of the offense there, pick up a nice 1st down, and get the Blue Devils out of the shadow of their own goal line.
With that, the Blue Devils get their 5th 1st down of the evening.
1st down and 10 at their own 26-yard line, center of the field. Shotgun spread again, trips on the left side. Deuce Franks is the single receiver, flanked out to the far right of the formation. It's a Wildcat this time, Rivera with the snap, gave it to Gurley. Gurley turns the left corner, back across the 25. We'll move it up about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. And the Firefly chant is out over on the Red Raiders side of the field, as the Red Raiders student section making like a set of fireflies. Small little lights. They're waving in the air. I don't know what to call it.
They're having fun.
It's a light of hope over there or something, but they went from the talcum powder to
it looks like the ice capades. You know, they give you those little spinners with the lights on it.
Back to football.
Yeah,
back
you
to
love
football.
the enthusiasm. 2nd down and 9. Rivera fakes the handoff to Gurley, keeps it himself, plants the foot, turns it upfield. Battles toward the 27-yard line and down after a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 7. Blue Devils need to advance the ball to their own 37-yard line for a first down, Kate.
Now, one of the things that we have to discuss right now, is that the quarter's over.
Yes, and we'll get back to that in bonus coverage. 3 quarters of play in the books here from Doyle Field with the score. Fitchburg 7, Leominster nothing. The 132nd meeting of these two rivals. Change ends and the all-important 4th quarter when we come back. You're listening to Leominster High School football on WPKZ, AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. Go for it.
Why, thank you. One of the things that we had talked about early on in the season with Coach Dave Palazzi, both on the TV edition of the Coach's Corner, and I believe he mentioned it in some of your previews down on the field side, was that at some point somebody is going to figure out the Leominster Blue Devil run game. And he said that at that point they're going to have to be able to rely on the passing game to get them through. They're going to have to be able to do both run and pass. Unfortunately tonight for Noah Gray and this Blue Devils offense, 2 of 7 in the air with -5 yards passing, and their run game not all that much better. Right now James Gurley 7 touches, 58 yards, Eddie Rivera 8 touches for 31 yards, Anthony Dandini 2 touches for 4 yards, and quarterback Noah Gray 4 touches for 5 yards.
And you can call it only one thing, anemic thus far on the offensive side of the football.
Oh, it's skinny.
Yes, it is. Getting ready to start the 4th quarter of action. Radio will rejoin us momentarily. Blue Devil football, 3rd and 7 as they change ends. They'll go left to right here in quarter 4. They've got the ball at their own 29-yard line going left to right.
It's loud.
As we welcome you back on WPKZ, 3rd down and 7. Grace back to pass, looks over the middle of the field, throws it into Deuce Franks' hands, hits him off the shoulder pads, and falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down and 7, and once again tonight, another Blue Devil receiver trying to make a shifty move before they reel in the football.
3rd drop of the night for the Blue Devils receivers, and very uncharacteristic of Deuce Franks. Very sure-handed up to this point in the season, but it's going to end up being 4th down and long, and Blue Devils are going to have to punt the ball away.
Blue Devils offense dejected over on the near side of the field. Can't blame them thus far, but the body language is going to have to change. 10:54 left here in the 4th quarter, just underway in quarter 4. Anthony Dandini with the punt, trailing 7-0. Left to right goes the punt. It rolls laterally. It takes a Blue Devil bounce. Now crossing the 35 and touchdown at the 31-yard line, and that's where the Red Raiders will have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 31.
Nice 40-yard positive yardage punt there by Anthony Dandini, but once again the defense asked to step up and get the ball back for the offense. The offense isn't doing the defense any favors here. They had a mini drive there to let the defense catch their breath, but once again they're asked to step up and try to get the ball back for an offense that's been anemic to say the least tonight.
And Kate, you were making a great point that I want to circle back to and bring our radio listeners up to speed on. After this play, Flowers in the offense going right to left here in quarter 4. Here's the snap, gives it for Alex Marrero. Marrero finds a hole in the right side, carries it forward for about 4 yards to the 35-yard line of the Red Raiders. Officially a gain of 3, 2nd and 7, Kate.
I think that what you wanted me to talk about is the fact that at the beginning of the season, Coach was discussing at length the fact that at some point one of these teams is going to figure out the Leominster ground game. They're going to figure out how to stop the run, and right now the Fitchburg Red Raiders have seemed to do that. Right now, James Gurley, 7 touches, 58 yards. Eddie Rivera, 8 touches for 31 yards, and Coach said the passing game was going to have to make it work. Right now, only 2 of 8.
Here's the carry for Marrero on 2nd and 7, and Marrero finds another hole on the right side, battles his way up to the 39-yard line.
Now Marrero, on the other hand, for Fitchburg, has 22 carries for 114 yards and 1 38-yard touchdown run in the 3rd quarter.
That's unbelievable.
Quietly piling up the yardage.
Yep.
Positive yardage on almost every carry, and then breaking that big one. And that's what Fitchburg's been relying on.
Positive yardage on all but 1 play for Alex Marrero tonight.
And here comes that I formation again. It's Diaz with Marrero dotting. calling the signals Flowers. 3rd down and 2. The snap. Diaz gets the carry. The defense plugs up the right side, stands him up at the 40-yard line. It'll gain maybe a half a yard as the pile goes to the ground. Nice job by the Blue Devils front 3 with a little help from the linebacking core to plug up the right side of the line.
Once again, Derek Hood looked like a Ponte. A little help maybe from DeAndre Addo.
Now, Billy, right
stacking
here,
the pile up.
Right here, we've got to go with the field position game. It's been working for the Red Raiders all night. Can't chance it around their own 40-yard line to go for it, even though it's only 4th and 1.5. They're going to have to play the field position game. That's why we see the punt team out there.
You saw that replay on Leominster Access Television. You could just see the passion on both teams, the drive, the push, the want for in their faces. Great look on Leominster Access Television there. On 4th down, a high snap, Isas somehow fields it and gets a decent punt away. It's angling toward the sideline. It goes out of bounds at the Blue Devil 35-yard line. What a play by big Facundo Isas, the junior. He got up, he made the play by getting the ball over his head and got a decent punt away. Nice job fielding a bad snap from Nick Lanny.
You know, and he might be the tallest kid on the field. He needed every inch with his reach here to stop that ball from going over his head. But once again, we see the Leominster defense, 2 3-and-outs to give the ball back to their offense. The offense has to repay the favor now.
In the last 5 offensive possessions for Fitchburg, the Leominster Blue Devils have given them 5 yards, 41, 2 yards, and 8 yards.
And on 1st down and 10, the give is for Eddie Rivera, and he's wrapped up, taken down, no gain on the play at the Blue Devil 35-yard line.
You know, and I think at this point now, the Red Raiders are playing all run. Noah Gray struggling at the quarterback position, not having any success throwing the ball, and they can just key on Eddie Rivera, James Gurley, and just stop that running game, because that's all the Blue Devils have right now.
Leominster right now not keeping that Red Raider defense honest, like you said, Billy. They can key off on that run. If they can stop the run, and the passing game is certainly not clicking on any cylinders right now. They've got this one.
2nd and 10 from their own 35. Shotgun spread, 2 receivers on the short side right. Gray's back to pass. Got some time. Over the middle. Snaps a pass complete to Derek Franks across the 45 at the Blue Devil 46-yard line. And there's a Blue Devil 1st down on a gain of 11.
Nice job by Deuce Franks. He knew right where to sit down. You know, how often do you see that, even in the pros and in college, receiver turns a yard short and ends up not getting the 1st down. Nice job by Deuce Franks there to know exactly what he needed, gain that extra yard, and move the sticks.
It's been execution thus far in the ballgame, or a lack thereof, for the Blue Devils offense. They can start to click, they'll move the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 46, going left to right, trailing 7-0. Back to pass, it's Gray. Looks this time to the left, strike thrown complete to DeAndre Addo. Across midfield at the Red Raider 47-yard line, gain of 7. It will be 2nd and 3.
Nice job once again to recognize the receiver, and DeAndre Addo just sitting down over there. Little opening in front of the defensive back. Good job by Noah Gray to get him the ball. A couple of safe passes as the passing game goes, but I think that's what Noah needs right now.
I think you're absolutely right, and it's going to keep this Red Raiders defense honest if they can continue to have this production, maybe go back to the run.
2nd and 3, and there's the snap and the give to Eddie Rivera, and Rivera was juking and jiving before the football's put in his hands, and then slips down to his left, losing a couple of yards on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
He's got happy feet tonight.
Having all kinds of footing
issues.
I
knew what you were getting to.
He's having footage issues.
Footage issues, yeah, it works too.
Issues with his footing tonight, which we haven't seen Eddie have that problem. He stops on a dime and turns running full speed a lot of times. Coach over here, I think, tell him, let's run some straight ahead, some north and south, Eddie.
Let's do what we know how to do. 3rd and 5 at the Red Raider 49, going left to right. Shotgun spread, trips to the open side right. James Gurley's the feature back in the backfield with Gray. They need to move the ball to the Red Raider 44, and Coach Palazzi takes just a 30-second timeout, and we'll keep it right here. He's going to talk to Noah Gray, clearly recognized something in the defense, and it stops the clock with 5:47 left here in the 4th quarter, and the Red Raiders nursing a 7-0 lead. And Bill Thomas, 7 seed or not, you let them stay in the ball game. St. John's found this out. Wachusett finds it out. You let that lower seed stay in the ball game long enough, and guess what? You're the favorite who's going home.
Well, you know, I've been looking at the 5-game winning streak, some of the scores that Fitchburg has amassed. they gave up 22 in the first win against North Middlesex, but then a 0, a 14, a 15, a 7. This team knows how to play defense, and they're showing it tonight.
3rd down and 5. They need to move the ball to the Red Raider 44 for the first. Here's the snap. Noah Gray will keep it on the draw play. Tripped up across the 47-yard line. Ball came loose, but the officials rule him down. Down with possession of the football. It'll be 4th down and 2 at the Red Raider 46. They'll need the Red Raider 44 for the first down.
Noah Gray over here on the sideline.
And Coach Palazzi sends out the punt team. He's got to play field position here. Down 1 score, trailing 7-0. 4th down and 2 at the Red Raider 46 in the middle of the field. Going to try to drive them deep.
Once again, relying on the defense here.
Dandini stands at his own 41. Good snap, and Dandini with the punt. It will take a hop and a Blue Devil bounce, still rolling, and it will be touchdown at the Red Raider 11-yard line. Another great punt by Anthony Dandini. And the Blue Devils defense is asked to do it again. They've got to make a stop.
And, they've been doing it the entire second half here, but this is the most critical one right here. And the defense is asked to step up again. We've seen them come through time after time. The offense hasn't been doing any favors tonight, Todd.
It's a scary thought that once again the defense, they've been asked to do it all year long. 2014 will go down as the year of the Blue Devil defense, and they've been asked to do it once again. 1st down and 10 for the Red Raiders at their own 11-yard line at left hash. Deny formation. Marrero is dotting. Flowers the snap. Gives it to Marrero. Marrero carries it across the 10, back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer on WPKZ. Joined in live simulcast by our viewers at Leominster Access Television. 4.5 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. 7-0 is the lead. Red Raiders continue to nurse that lead, and they continue to nurse the clock. Clock will continue to wind. It won't snap now until close to 4 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. I formation is Diaz with Marrero dotting. Flowers the snap to Marrero again. Marrero with some room into the 2nd level. Derek Franks grabs a hold of him. He'll wrestle him to the ground, but not before the Red Raiders gain the first down at their own 23-yard line. It's a Red Raider first. More time coming off the clock. Stopped temporarily with 4:03 left here in the 4th quarter. It will restart right now. Under 4 minutes to play. Fitchburg 7 and Leominster nothing.
And that's going to give the Red Raiders a chance to take about 2 more minutes off the clock here as things wind down. Tough run by Marrero there. Just a run after being surrounded by Deuce Franks, but refusing to go down, gaining that extra 3 yards for the first.
On 1st down and 10. The handoff goes straight up the center of the field. Gain of about 4. And now whistles will kill the play. Gain of 5, excuse me.
Timeout.
For Marrero. And it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Timeout by the Blue Devils, I'm guessing. Stop the clock, try to save some clock. Didn't see the signal.
Clock is stopped with 3:35 left in the 4th quarter. 7-0. Fitchburg's lead, and they will look to continue to run the time off the clock.
Red Raiders are, I'm guessing, 2 first downs here away from winning this game right now. And they know it. They're fired up over on that sideline.
2nd and 5, and out of an eye, it's Diaz with Marrero dotting. Here's the snap. Marrero the handoff again. Carries it across the 30-yard line to the 32. And now a timeout taken by the Blue Devils. 133 yards on the ground for the Red Raiders. And the Blue Devils will take the timeout. 3rd down and about 3 coming up, trailing 7-0 with 3:28 left here in the 4th quarter of action. The season comes down to the next series of defensive plays. 2 plays, you stop it, the offense has got a shot to tie it. You don't, and the Red Raiders are going to beat the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seed on their way to the state playoffs.
Well, I'm guessing if the Blue Devils can hold them here, the Red Raiders have been playing that conservative offense, and I'm sure they'll punt the ball away on 4th down here. They wouldn't want to have something happen and turn the ball over here deep in their own territory, especially after the way they've controlled this Blue Devils offense. I think they can feel like they can stop them from anywhere on the field, but I know they wouldn't want to give them the ball right there deep in their own territory on downs.
A jam-packed crowd on hand here at Doyle Field tonight. Great representation from both the Blue Devils and Red Raiders, student sections, communities at large. We want to see this kind of crowd again on Thanksgiving, because remember, these two teams match up again on Thanksgiving Thursday in 2 weeks' time.
Right back here at historic Doyle Field.
Amen to that. On 3rd down and 2 to go. Deny backfield. Flowers will go under center with Marrero dotting. The snap. Diaz with the carry. Diaz bounces off the initial hit, moved laterally, and stood up on the play. It'll bring up 4th down and 2. No gain on the play. Coach Palazzi trying to decide whether to take the timeout or save the timeout, and he'll take it here after letting an extra about 10 or so seconds run off the clock.
Big defensive stop there, led by Antonio Centafante, leading the charge, hitting me in the backfield. Good job by Antonio there to lead that defensive stop on 3rd down. Going to bring up a big 4th down here, and I can't imagine the Red Raiders doing anything as silly as trying to go for that. Go for it here, even though another 1st down would pretty much cement the ball game on their behalf on the offensive side. You got to put the game back in their defense, the way their defensive played tonight. The Blue Devils now down to 1 timeout. I think you got to ride your defense at this point, Todd and Kate.
And here comes Eddie Rivera. He'll be back in punt formation. Facundo Isas has had some pretty good punts tonight. Last snap from Nick Lanny, though, was a little shaky in punt formation. Isas will stand at his own 18-yard line, now up to his own 20. He will stand to punt. Eddie Rivera stands back at the Blue Devil 33 to return.
Some quickness out on the edges, but...
Bad snap again. Isas fields it. Pooches the kick away, angled toward the sideline, out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it.
Right
at the 49-yard line of the Blue Devils. Leominster's got the ball. 3:06 left here in the 4th quarter. 1 timeout, trailing 7-0. 51 yards to go to tie this ball game.
Blue Devils have an opportunity once again. It's all been on the defensive shoulders, and they've really stepped up here, except for that one 38-yard rushing touchdown by Marrero. The difference on the scoreboard, but the Blue Devils defense has answered every call here, other than that one short drive, and see if the offense can repay them.
1st down and 10 to go from the Blue Devil 49, going left to right, and the mass wave begins to move. 3 receivers in the formation. Delayed give for Eddie Rivera. He was sliding down before he got handed the football again. And down goes Rivera. 2nd down and 10 at midfield.
And then once again, the Red Raiders have the answer for Eddie Rivera tonight. Unable to find any room to maneuver, but let's give the Red Raiders a big front 4, defensive front 4 there, a lot of credit. Controlling the line of scrimmage, and Eddie just doesn't have that hole to pick like he has in past games, running into a big red wall right there at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 9. They gave him a gain of a yard right at midfield. Shotgun spread, under 2.5 minutes left in the 4th. Leominster chasing 7. Back to pass. Gray, some time, over the center of the field, in and out of the hands of DeAndre Addo, and incomplete. A handful of times tonight, Blue Devils receivers have had hands full of football and have dropped it.
That one would have been a 1st down. I don't know about DeAndre Addo, surrounded by Red Raiders there, but had some running room. He was able to pull that in. Once again, I think looking to make a move. Could have heard some footsteps there. Had Bruce Johnson bearing down on him, and I'm sure that was a distraction to DeAndre. But one of those balls you'd expect DeAndre to catch.
3rd down and 9.
I believe that's the 4th makeable drop
Ball's
by
at
the Blue
midfield.
Devils receiving corps tonight.
Shane Creighton with some chaos, talking to Noah Gray. They've got the play settled down, and Coach Palazzi has to take his last time out. Stopping the clock with 2:20 left here in the 4th quarter. We take a break. 7-0 Fitchburg's lead. More to come. You're listening to Leominster High School football on WPKZ. as we continue in bonus coverage for our viewers on Leominster Access Television. The season comes down to this. Leominster is out of timeouts. They need to reset the sticks and advance the ball to the Red Raider 41.5-yard line for the first down. It's that simple.
They have 2 plays here to gain a first down, but more than that, they only have 220 seconds to gain 6 plus a point after touchdown. Tough spot here. It's a spot that the Blue Devils have not been in all year.
As we welcome you back on WPKZ, Todd Robbins with Bill Thomas and Kate Meyer, Travis Condon back in the studio. 2:20 left here in the fourth quarter. 7-0 is Fitchburg's lead. Leominster's offense needs, must, has to have a first down on this drive. 3rd down and 9. They need to move the ball to the Red Raider 41-yard line for the first. Shotgun spread. Trips to the right side of the snap. Back to pass. Gray over the middle of the field. Hit from behind. Flags fly. Pass interference. Everybody threw a flag on that one, including the entire Blue Devils cheering section. But more importantly, Blue Devils are slow to get up back at the line as there was some pushing and shoving. An offensive lineman got knocked down on the play. That was Eddie Cudahy. He went down awkwardly.
Bruce Johnson also for the Red Raiders gets up limping. Notice he's wearing a brace on that left leg, and he's favoring that knee right now, but he's staying on the field, it looks like, at this point, shaking it off. I think you need a team of wild horses to drag him off the field at this point in the game.
Paul Duenas will be called for the pass interference with the hit before the ball had arrived at the receiver. It's pass interference against the Red Raiders, 15 yards and an automatic first down, and the Blue Devils got a break for the first time tonight. Something went in their favor.
That swarming Red Raider defense got there a little too early, but once again, playing very aggressively.
1st and 10 from the Red Raider 38. Out of the gun, trips to the right, the snap. Eddie Rivera's got it, got some room in a hole. Crosses the 35-yard line, stood up at the 34.
Clocks continue to run now. The clock's the enemy with no timeouts.
Winding down toward 2 minutes left. We'll go under 2 minutes. No 2-minute warning. Clock is official. Kenny O'Connell, the clock operator tonight, as assigned by the MIAA. 2nd down and 7 to go. Gray scans the field. Gray with the snap. He's back to pass. Looks right, throws, sideline. Pass is caught by DeAndre Addo. Now ruled incomplete. They say incomplete along the sideline. They say it came up off the turf. Clock will stop on the incompletion.
Tough to see here from our vantage point. Officials right there on the spot.
Replay on Leominster Access Television. We'll see if we get a look at it. Hard to tell as it gets swallowed up in the sideline.
Although there is a zebra right there, though.
Yes, it is.
I gotta guess he was right on it.
3rd and 7. Gray scans the line. 4 receivers out there. The snap. Eddie Rivera with a hole. Plunges it into the defense. Stood up, still being moved. Pack still being carried. Whistles will kill the play. Across the 30-yard line at the 29 of the Red Raiders. They need the 28 for the first.
The clock continues to run, and they're up against it here on 4th down. Not a lot of options. The first option is make the first down and then get up and spike the ball.
Football, that's what you're going to have to do.
You need the first down here, though. I think Noah's just got to try to muscle it.
Leominster is out of timeouts. The season comes down to this. The crowd gathers to their feet. 4th and a yard, I formation. Under center, it's Gray. The season's on the line. Gray with the snap. Double fake. Gray will roll out. He's going to tuck the ball and run. Gray tripped up. He lost the football. He lost the football out of bounds. Gray loses the football. He cannot advance it forward on the fumble. If they rule it went forward, it's a turnover on downs. The officials are on the sideline. The season could go at a lost, fumbled football. They are marking it out of bounds. Do they have it going forward? Bob Bonsi and his crew is looking at it on the sideline. The officials tried to make the best mark they could. What a season, what a moment here.
This is going to come down to a measurement.
The entire Blue Devils season could come down. They're going to bring the sticks off the far side.
Replay
Taking
on
a look
LTV.
on Leominster Access Television's replay. and you could see carrying that ball very loosely. As he got tripped up, Gray just lost
Hit
the
it off
football out
his knee,
the
it looks
backside.
like.
Tripped it right out of himself.
Here come the sticks.
They're coming in from the far side to the near, everyone hopping over them. The measurement here, Coach Palazzi's trying to take a look at it.
Imagine the season coming down to a measurement on.
Trailing 7-0, clock stopped with 41 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. The season comes down to the sticks getting drawn out.
Look at that view on
Nice
LA
reverse
TV.
angle.
We'll have a look at it. The mark. It's a Blue Devil first down, and the season continues.
Oh my God.
Gray had to have obtained the first down before
He lost
fumbling
the
the
ball.
football.
By half a football. Unbelievable. Well,
This
41
is why
seconds
it's the
left.
rivalry. This is why it's the rivalry.
And I was about to say, and I coach youth sports forever, you hate to think that the last thing, if it's bad, is what costs you a ball game. That's not a first down. That's not why the Blue Devils possibly end up losing this game.
No.
Although you hate to see it end on something
That's
like
where
that.
it would have ended.
But
Fortunate
fortunate turn of events.
Begins again. Down to 30 seconds left here in the fourth at the snap. Gray's back to pass. Gray's got some time. He's looking end zone. Franks is there. Franks reaches for it, but it is incomplete. Out of the reach of Derek Franks, stopping the clock with 27 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Leominster still chasing 7. Second down and 10.
And I'm going to call the play right now. Do that 3 more times.
That's all you're going to do.
And throw it to Deuce Franks 3 more times. You know, we know how sure-handed he's been and how he has a knack for coming down with balls. Maybe he can get a flag, but you don't have time to mess around here in the middle of the field. You got to go in the end zone on every play.
For the second straight year at home field, the Blue Devils in the Central Mass Championship and trying to win a ball game. Second and 10. Gray's back to pass. Corner of the end zone again. Franks battling, makes the catch, out of bounds, incomplete. Franks reeled it in, but ran out of real estate. Incomplete. Great defense by Manny Payton on the sideline.
Nice job there just to drive Deuce Franks out to the sideline. Throw it to him again, Todd. That's all I can say. Throw it up there and see if he can out-jump Manny Payton. Payton playing great defense. Deuce just running out of real estate down there. I made the connection, but it didn't count.
19 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. 7-0 is the lead. You see the catch made high by Deuce Franks, but he could not get a foot down inbound.
Looked like he was in from up here.
I know, it's so tough. Third down in the season again. From the Red Raider 28. Left to right it continues. And Gray with the snap on third down. Gray trying to step up. Gray is sacked. Sacked. No timeouts. The Blue Devils now have fourth down. They've got one play, 10 seconds remaining.
They're not going to
The
get
Devils
back
scrambling.
upfield.
Red Raiders getting told to get out on the field. Blue Devils continue to run the clock.
Snap the
3
ball.
seconds. Go 2 seconds. The season is down. Triple zeros are on the board.
There was a whistle,
and that's
though.
it. Whistles on the field. The Red Raiders have done it. The Red Raiders have beat the first, second, and third seed. Fitchburg is victorious by a 7-0 score. Their fans rush the field, and
What
the
a
Blue
game.
Devils' playoff hopes are over.
What a game.
Very chaotic ending, but great job by the Red Raiders. Got to give them a lot of credit. The defense stepped up and held the Blue Devils to a goose egg on the scoreboard, and they scored the one touchdown they needed here early in the second half, and they're going to be moving on against the West champion.
For the second straight year, the Blue Devils lose in the championship game of Central Mass on home field.
Tough loss to take, but somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. Blue Devils went down fighting right to the very end, but it's a tough one to swallow, Todd and Kate.
Red Raiders were the better team tonight. They snap a Blue Devils streak of 5 straight wins in this historic rivalry, in this 132nd meeting. Blue Devil fans looking around, their season is over with just the 133rd meeting between these two teams to come.
They'll do it again.
In 2 weeks' time.
And, in the pregame, Dan Walker talked about the key to the game. He talked about his defense. His defense carried him through to the victory. He was spot on, playing great defense, and it boded out well for them, and they're going to be moving on. Great job by the Fitchburg Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders celebrate a win tonight here at Doyle Field. Fitchburg 7 and Leominster 0. Red Raiders take the 132nd meeting of these two squads, but more importantly, Fitchburg a winner tonight, and they advance as the 7th seed, defeating the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd ranked teams in Division II Central Mass to make the state semifinals against the winner of Longmeadow and East Longmeadow next Saturday. Game to be played.
Wow, those are some fantastic memories preserved in the archive of Leominster TV. Whether celebrating the thrill of victory or capturing the agony of defeat, all of us at Leominster TV have endeavored to embody this recent quote from NBC broadcasting legend Bob Costas, who said in his 2018 induction speech at the National Baseball Hall of Fame, quote, "While the game is the thing and the players are the stars, how those games are perceived and remembered is often shaped by those who chronicle them." That quote from Bob Costas sums up our mission over the last 19 years and will continue to chart our course long into the future. The awesome responsibility of chronicling Leominster athletics is a tremendous honor that all of us at Leominster TV are proud to be a part of. Thank you so much for joining us on this celebration, 20 games for 20 years. I'm Todd Robbins. On behalf of my producer, Kate Robbins, archivist Jack Selly, editor Bradley Bedard, and all of us in the Leominster TV family, until next time, so long, everybody.
Black coffee, I'm in trouble. Black coffee, I see trouble. Man, 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 I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm so dizzy. Black coffee, please get busy. Oh, nothing to get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble. I'm so dizzy. Please get busy. Man, 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 I'm not gonna get home. Black coffee, I'm in trouble.